I have been selling this book, Zanazli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH for a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. You're watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm very sleepy.
And I share every time.
Yes, as usual, we're going to watch a local movie. And this time we're going to watch...
another bloody horror movie.
What is it? Talbis
Iblis.
Iblis. Talbis Iblis. Okay.
Okay, so we watched
Talbis Iblis. I don't understand. I don't know what is Talbis.
I also don't know. I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, I don't know what is Talbis.
Okay, so we watched it at night yesterday.
Yep.
Mama is on my hand.
It's
It's a fairly full cinema.
yeah, half lah.
Mama is on my hand.
Half. And when I heard it was Kabir Bhatia who was directing the film, my expectations dropped way down low. But then I heard it was Ajami Hashim who wrote the script. Then it went back up again a little bit. But I didn't know how the combination would work lah. So it stars who? It stars Zul
Nasha.
Arifin, Nasha Aziz, who I did not recognize, and some young actors who I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I also don't know who they are.
Yeah. What's the story about?
The story is about this young girl who has had a baby out of wedlock, and she's brought to like this, I want to say confinement center, but not really. She's brought to this house lah, for this person named Mak Ju to sort
dispose
of
of the baby lah.
dispose of the baby or mengubat her or whatever it is, and then things start getting a bit weird lah from there. Yeah, that's the story in a nutshell.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. It's a story in a nutshell.
So what do we think about it?
Oh, I think you should go first because you had like a roller coaster of first expectation drop and then after that expectation go up.
Oh. I don't like Kabir Bhatia's films because he shoots it too beautifully, too constructed, too well planned lah. So that's why I don't really enjoy watching his films. And everything looks like a commercial. And I don't know, whenever I watch his films, it just reminds me of like Fernleaf advertisement lah, Salem High Countries advertisement lah, all those kind of beautiful films beautiful advertisements. So it distracts me from actually watching the story and enjoying the story . So that's why I don't like Kabir Bhatia's films.
But this film?
This film,
Don't.
he actually he uses his techniques of moving the camera and angles and all that actually quite well, I think. I think this is he used the camera techniques were very well done in order to tell and reflect the story. It was very I want to say Hitchcockian, but no lah, let's not give it too much credit. But something like that lah, because Hitchcock likes to play around with the camera, play around with sounds, to create some tension and
torture women.
And yeah, so he uses sounds, he uses camera to actually narrate the story rather than having what is being said narrate the story, right? And play around with the emotions and the feelings and what of the audience . So I thought like this film he did it well . right? It was done quite well, and I felt that. The story was normal, yeah. I thought the story was normal. It was okay. I think it was how to say there's this really annoying boyfriend who really I cannot stand watching. But I guess that's what his character is supposed to be. So I guess he played it well. There's a really there is I don't know what else there is a young woman who is pregnant. I think she plays the character quite well too, who's very, very unsure and insecure of herself, and traumatized because I think at a younger age when she was a kid, her brother died, right? And she thought it was her fault. Apparently her mother also blamed her for it. And then there is Nasha Aziz lah. Nasha Aziz's character who is Mak Ju, Junaida, and Zul Arifin's character Nasir, right? Who's like the caretaker of the place, but actually they're kind of having a relationship. Yeah, and it was too much. It was scary. I mean, it wasn't scary for me, but I can evaluate the film and say that it can be very scary for people.
It's scary.
Very well done, lah.
Scary.
The scariness. The only thing is, it's a little bit too full of scares.
Scariness.
Like relax,
The whole film is scary.
Every single shot scares you. Supposed to scare you. Attempts to scare you. Too much, People need to breathe, You know, we want to be scared
even drink
also,
my
but
damn coffee.
Want to be scared also, kind of like need to breathe also lah. So that was another thing lah. But yeah, what did you think? I think I still have more things to say, but I just don't have like a straight train of thought.
It's funny that you mentioned the story being quite normal, because I actually quite like the story. I don't like horror films. It's quite well known on the Bidin Film Club that I do not enjoy horror films. You're right, it was chock-a-block full of scariness, from the sound, from the camera angles to everything lah. Even the special effects, the makeup or whatever was all terrifying. But mostly I like the fact that it was a very woman-centered story. Not in the typical sense where it's a woman that was wronged and then she dies and then she turns into a Pontianak, but it was really a story about loss. You know, it's a story about loss. It's a story about love in the time of adversity. Like, you know, despite the fact that something happens to you and you still can love the result of it. I really thought that was quite deep and quite like poignant in a way.
It had significance the story. I would agree to that
So it was really sophisticated for a horror film, I felt, and it was a new direction of women narratives in a way, because it showed not just like, you know, scorned women of the past, but also how women are still kind of getting wronged now. And I also really liked the sort of redemption arc in this film, where the younger woman talked about how, I've sinned a lot, but it doesn't mean that I've forgotten God.
Mama, I want to eat you.
Yeah, I know. And it really brings about this idea that, you know, you can have faith even if it's not perfect.
I want to touch the elephant.
You don't necessarily, I cannot read sayang. You don't necessarily have to be like super alim, pakai tudung, bertaubat, but even if
wait, Achilles.
Yes. Even if you are a sinner, even if you have had a baby out of wedlock or whatever, there's still a way back for you, and it doesn't necessarily involve like, you know, pakai tudung, whatever. Yeah lah, there was that one scene where she's a bayang and everything, but it was mostly because she was lost and kind of looking for guidance rather than the fact that, now I bertaubat and I'm better already. Don't pull my hair, sayang.
Yeah, it reminds me of one Ustad I know, Ustad Jeffrey, who told me everybody has their own path to go to heaven.
Yeah, so this really showed that in a very unconventional sort of way. And I thought the horror plot of it was also very sophisticated. It's not very clear. Sayang. What is it? Why you want to pull my hair? It's not very sophisticated. It's very sophisticated. It's not very clear. There's no like beginning end sort of thing. At the end, you still don't really understand the root of this demon or whatever. or where it came from, and but that's not really the point of the story. And the center of the story being about preying on the desperation of women and the loss and grief of a woman was powerful lah. So to me, despite the fact that it was a horror film, it was still very enjoyable plot wise.
Yeah, it was.
And
yeah.
I thought that it was a very human film, not unrealistic in the way that it talks about the path of redemption, and not unrealistic in the way that it talks about how women deal with the injustices against them lah. So I liked it. It was a good film.
Yeah, I would agree also. I guess it would be Kabir Bhattia's best film lah. So that means you don't need a woman to make a film a film about women, because this film was helmed by men entirely. Oh, how did they? I'm wondering, Ajami, Kabir Bhatia, enlighten us. How did you get into the mindset of telling a story that's like that lah?
So you see, if men make films about women like this, then good lah. And if they don't, they look at it from a more women-centric lens, then great. But if they make, films about women from the lens of a man, then a bit susah lah. Then we're just regressing.
But it's also quite difficult, right, for a man to make a film from a woman's perspective, and same also if a woman were to make a film from a man's perspective.
Yeah,
right?
that's why this was so well done and fairly exceptional as a film.
It's good. Yeah, I totally agree. It was a good story. I enjoyed it. Scary, too much. Need to have breather.
I couldn't drink my coffee.
Yeah, because
I couldn't drink my coffee at all.
Yeah, you don't need to have a scare scene in every shot to make a scary film, right? Yeah, that was it lah. Acting wise, oh my god, I think the performance was great. All the actors performed really, really well, right? From Nasha Aziz to Zul Arifin. Zul Arifin is always good lah, right? Zul Arifin is great. The two young actors also quite good, So it's actually quite. Yeah, it's a very Nasha Aziz though. Nasha Aziz, she doesn't look like Nasha Aziz. When I saw the opening credits, Nasha Aziz. The first 30 minutes or 45 minutes of the film, I was wondering, where is Nasha Aziz and when is she coming out? And then wait, is Mak Ju Nasha Aziz? Holy crap! Yeah, so that got me a little bit wondering lah.
Yeah. So would you tell people to watch?
Yes, I would tell people to go watch it. It's probably Kabir Bhattia's best film. Yeah.
Yes. I too will tell people to watch this film. I also would tell people to watch this film. Yeah lah. So watch the film lah. It just came out.
Watch the film, don't bring your kid to the cinema.
It's fairly
Because there was one couple that brought a baby to the cinema to watch a horror film. No
Good
lah,
luck lah,
yeah. I'm okay to have children going to the cinemas if they can, they know how to control themselves and all that. But really, you bring a baby to a horror film, I'm more worried about the baby watching the film, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It just came out, so you've got plenty of time to watch it.
Yeah. So yeah. Follow us, like this video, don't like this video, subscribe to our channel. Watch us, follow us on all our social media platforms, or go to fatbidin.com to get everything. You're watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming Azan Azli.
And I am Shirley Mustawan.